dear Mr. Veerowonsa, dear colleagues, dear diplomatic representatives of friendly embassies, Cuba and Chinese People's Republic, Mr. Veerowonsa, dear friends, thank you very much, first of all, for organizing this meeting. Very influential, very important for my country, especially on this sensitive period. And just it's for me a big honor to be here among you. And just my colleagues, so I don't understand Sinhala language, but I have no doubt that my colleagues have presented a very detailed report about the reasons of this proxy war in Ukraine and the reasons why we were forced to start this special military operation. I would like to say only a few words, because everything what was necessary, my colleagues, Mr. Veerowonsa and Your Excellency, you have already presented. We have many times asked Western countries, for first of all, the former American administrations for the Democratic Party, to respect our security concerns. We don't want to see NATO military infrastructure close to our borders. We don't want to see Ukraine as a member of NATO, as a leverage against Russia. And the main reason was to defeat Russia, because Russia was and is one of the main obstacles on the way for American domination of the world. Any domination of any country in the world is unacceptable for us. Not only for us, but also for other independent countries. But they just didn't respect it. That's why we were forced to start this military operation. It's not Russia-Ukrainian war. If it was Russian-Ukrainian war, we would have defeated Ukraine very soon, because you cannot compare Russian military capability and military capability of the Ukraine. And we were ready to negotiate many times, Minsk Agreement 2014, Istanbul Agreement 2022, but they deceived us many times, I mean Western countries and the puppet regime of Ukraine. Ukraine is a puppet regime, and they are a tool in American hands, in the hands of the Europeans. Now, with the returning of the Republican administration to power, President Trump, who is very pragmatic, there is a window of opportunity for political settlement. And as you know, we have already started our negotiations with the American administration, not with Europeans right now. They have to stay and to wait while two big gentlemen are talking. They are waiting for any outcome, for any result. But we are negotiating with Americans not only about Ukrainian conflict, but we are also talking about our bilateral relations, how to normalize American-Russian relationship. We are talking about situation in the world, many other conflicts, for example, Middle East, Gaza, and we just inform our colleagues and friends, for example, Iran, Chinese People's Republic, about the outcomes of our contacts with American administration. Hopefully, we will be able to settle down the conflict, and all the countries, first of all, from the global south, will benefit from it, because the sanctions, threats, pressure is not our way, because Europeans and previous American administration, they have forgotten the language of diplomacy. But we will remind it, whether they like it and they don't like it. Finally, we have very concrete demands which were put forward by President Putin. First, demilitarization of Ukraine. Ukraine, from the military point of view, shouldn't pose any threat to my country. Second, neutral status of Ukraine. They will never join NATO. We will never allow Ukraine to be part of the NATO, whether they like it or they don't like it. 3, we have returned back Russian historical lands, which were gifted to Ukraine by previous Soviet governments. 4 regions in Donbass and Novorossiya, plus Crimea. And 4, lifting all sanctions. And we will continue our special military operation, we continue our offensive, as long as it's necessary. And finally, I would like to assure you that we will defeat the puppet regime in Ukraine and its European sponsors, whether they like it or they don't like it. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.